And we back. Welcome back to another episode of the Get Buggish podcast powered by Hardwooding Basketball. I'm your host, Musa Marathi. So initially going into this video, I was just gonna come on here and talk about Westside, talk about their 9-0 record. Before I went on and saw that they lost today, or yesterday, or a couple days. They lost to Greer. They lost by 3 points, I believe. So it made them 9-1. And then I was like, well, then I was going to talk about Greenville as well because they were 6-0. So I was going to combine the video, be like, okay, the region is about to be fun. West Side and Greenville are in the same region, and they were both undefeated until the Greer game. But Greer had lost to Greenville by 30, right? Greer had been doing well though. Greer was like 6-0 when I made that video. No, they lost to Burns, but I was like, they're. I mean, Greenville versus Greer. I was like, this is a good rivalry game, and Greenville wins by 30. But then they go beat Westside. So I just can't. I'm telling this foray is confusing because at this point I don't even know who's gonna win what game. Now I was looking on there and I saw Westside. They basically were only playing 3A schools, so and they are 4A, so it makes sense that they were winning. But I'm not gonna say they were supposed to beat Greer. But honestly, how does Greer lose to Greenville by 30? And I guess I should give credit to Greenville for this because they've been playing out of their minds recently. I heard Elijah Jones had 28 points against Greer. So he's finally, last time I said he should get more touches, and it seems like he must be because, dang, sorry, don't even worry about the hair right now. He must be getting more touches. So that's good to see because it's obviously working. I mean, I've talked about the athleticism they possess with guys like Romani and Raymond Cooley and Ramon and all just a lot of talent in general, even with the freshmen such as Arquise, Rondo, my boy Houston, who I had on here a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to come on and speak on West Side for the 9-1 record as well, because this is about to be a fun region. Actually, dang, I should have checked this before I even got on here. I'm not sure if Greer. I don't think Greer is in Greenville's region anymore. No, they're not. But dang, I wish Greer. That would have been Greer's in the region with like East Side and all of them, and Riverside, Wade Hampton, and Lawrence. But honestly, the two front runners I think that I had for Greenville's region, which has teams such as like Greenwood, West Side, and honestly, just not as great teams. I felt like it was basically West Side or Greenville coming out of that. But after Greenville beat Greer by 30, who West Side lost to by 3, this might be Greenville's season still. I said that they would have to work hard to be good, and I mean, it seems just like another good Greenville season, another season where they're playing well and finally someone is taking over being Elijah, it seems like in the past couple games. I know Coach Mike Anderson. It seems that the offense, a lot of guys average around 10 to 12 points a game. Like the whole starting five, nobody's going to go out and just get us a bunch of points. But if he is allowing Elijah to just play freely and do him, that's good to see because I mean it's working. So I mean that's good to see off of Rip for sure. West Side though, I mean they've been playing well. I have to shout out Zeke Marshall, who is only a sophomore and shooting high percentages, 53% field goal percentage, and this is just in memory. I saw he shot 53%. They also have guys like Josiah Greer, Joshua Williams, of course, and Lamarion Scott. They got dudes, and they're also really athletic. So I'm ready to see this matchup, and I can't wait till January to see these two teams match up because even though Greenville is playing really well lately, and Westside did just come off their first loss, Westside knows how to win games. I mean, these are teams. Even though they were playing 3A schools, these 3A schools they didn't all have bad records. I mean, West Oak was, I believe, like 7-2 going into the game, and they won by 30. So I mean, West Oak isn't a very athletic team, but I mean they got the job done. And I know Joshua Williams personally, just an athletic guard, and Zeke Marshall as well. I've played him in the past, and if they're playing like this, I mean, I also know that there's a little bit of personal competition between these two schools. So I even if you may feel Greenville is the better school, I feel like Westside's still gonna have that competitive nature. So even though and Greer, I don't even know about Greer, man. I was thinking about making a whole what's the word competitors versus pretenders, or like not competitors, but who I just feel is a real contenders versus pretenders. Yes, that was a video, and I mean, and I made the Greer video saying that they were the last undefeated, and that's on me. I forgot Greenville. I just didn't want to make one about Greenville so soon, especially because they were only 4-0 at the moment and hadn't played many games, while Greer was 6-0. Well, now Greenville's 6-0, so we're talking about them. And honestly, if I'm going based off of some of these records, man, I'm not even sure if I can consider Greer a contender. Is that a hot take? I mean, that's why I have to say 4A is confusing because, like I said, Greer was playing very well at the beginning, held Blue Ridge, who, I mean, is 0-9, I believe, right now. They did hold them to like 0 points in one quarter, but then they went and beat them by only 12 the second time. Then they got beat by like 20 by Burns, and lost to 30 by Greenville. So I just can't exactly tell what is going on in that aspect, but they still know how to win games. So I don't want to just count them out entirely now. Especially, I mean, nothing really here matters until region. When region comes, that's when the real deal starts. Of course they got guys like Amari Anderson, who's a solid sophomore. I do want to see Amari versus Zeke though. That would be fun. The sophomores going at it, the athletic sophomores. Two sophomores who I feel are honestly some of the top in the upstate for sure. Zeke I know plays football, so he'd even play Foley, but that doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all. Starting off the season very strong. And then even the guys at Greenville, I put Bryson Drummond in my breakout players list along with Amari. I didn't have Zeke in there, but I also don't really. I was more just considering Greenville County in that, so I wasn't even considering Zeke Marshall. But Zeke Marshall, I'm not saying he got the team on his back, but he's got something going. Like I'm saying, like Josiah Greer, the second score is averaging 9.3. Joshua averaging 9. Joshua, football guy, not even a hooper. I mean, he is a hooper. Don't get it wrong. I play with Josh. He's definitely a baller, but no, the secondary sport still getting it done. And I don't see them. I mean, looking at their schedule, who else? They played a lot of 3As. They do have a 2A in the tournament. They do have a few. I mean, their region. I just realized something, and I just realized Berea did move up to 4A. Dang. And I mean, I've been hyping up their season since for the past couple videos. They're 6-4 right now as this video is being recorded, and they've been 3A for so long. I had heard about the switch, but I had forgot about it until this moment. So they're in the region with Berea. So they also got some solid sophomores. I've talked about Destin Eckelberger, Jaleel McGee. There's this. I'm rocking with the sophomore rivalries. We got, and then of course Bryson Drummond, Romani. Dang, this should be a fun little region. Easley's been struggling majorly this year, but I mean, a few of these teams like Easley, Pickens, Greenwood, I don't really know much about. I know Easley, but I don't really know if I should put them as a contender for this region. Basically the teams I want to watch is Berea, Greenville, and Westside, because I feel like even if Berea is young and may not do as well this year, they're still going to compete. I've already talked about this. They're going to compete no matter what. So that's going to be fun to watch. And going back to Greer in their little region, I mean, sheesh. if they're over here losing to Greenville by that much, I mean, they got Wade Hampton. Wade Hampton beat Eastside. Eastside's in that region as well. And I already made a video about Eastside may be onto something after Eastside beat Woodmont. Woodmont had beat Riverside. So, I mean, in Riverside's also in that region. So there's just so much going on in 4A, man. /5. I mean, Woodmont's 5A, but like it's honestly hard to keep up because there's teams who you don't expect to win that do win, or at least the Greer Greenville game, you expect it to be really close, and then it's not. I mean, obviously, I think the game was at Greenville, so I mean, the home court advantage is always key, but that's still wild. I'm still baffled by that. But that's really it. I honestly don't have this video being very long. I really didn't write anything down. I've just been going through Max Preps and looking at all this. But nonetheless, I mean, with Westside, I'm not even gonna overreact too much about the Greer loss. I mean, they've been 9-1 is still a strong record, and they've been beating, like, even though they are playing these 3A schools, they've been winning by a good amount. Like, it's usually 10 plus minimum. I see here that they beat Seneca by 44, and Seneca, I mean, down year for Seneca. Camo Kelly's foot's broken, so I'm not even gonna talk about that much. But man, region, hey, these teams better go at it. I might as well just title this one Westside versus Greenville because I'm ready for that. Plus Greer, of course. But that's basically concluded. I know I said I concluded. I know I said I was gonna have the Christmas background by now, but it's gonna come. It's gonna come on the next one. I just doubled up on the videos tonight. This is being recorded on Friday, December 17th. So I don't think there should be any games happening by the time this is posted, but hope everyone is doing well, and hope everybody has a great Christmas break. Keep the family safe and all that. Hope y'all spending time with your family and with all that. So without further ado, that's going to conclude this episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.